And the All Whites line up well. We can bring you confirmation now of the starting 11 for New Zealand. The changes made by Ken Dugdale. One, not so much of a surprise, the number 6, Noah Hickey, will come on to the left side of the field in place of Aaron Lyons. He did a much better job on Brett Emerton once he came off the bench in the second half. But one change perhaps forced upon the coach. Injury has robbed Mark Burton of a position in the starting lineup, and Mark Atkinson, the utility player, comes into midfield in place of Burton. A big loss that for the All Whites. And he gets a second chance this afternoon. Atkinson, Viselic in towards the feet of Killen. Craig Moore giving Chris Killen no room to manoeuvre, and he's forced the error. It's 3 against 2 all of a sudden for Australia. Zvilic still going. David Zvilic, he's found the gap. The opening goal for Australia. Perhaps enough to kill off the tie. Exactly what New Zealand were hoping to avoid. And David Zvilic, after just 6 minutes, puts the Socceroos into the lead.
And it was the pressure that brought it about, Mike. I can tell you that was wonderful defensive work from Craig Moore, wasn't it?
And I think he'll be able to get hold of that ball and start playing in the likes of Brett Emerton and Lazaridis.
Misread there by Hickey. Emerton is free now on the right-hand side. The ball into the middle, missed by Aloisi. And some desperate defending in the end required from Jonathan Perry as Stan Lazaridis almost got on the end of things. The close attentions of Stan Lazaridis. Zoricic drives it in towards Chris Killen. Now Ryan Nelson, who stayed forward, appeals perhaps for handball there against Vidmar. The referee waves for play to continue. Nelson again with a deep cross. The volley by Noah Hickey. Well, a much better piece of play there from New Zealand when the opportunity arises. Lazaridis with the corner. Popovic, free header. Batty with a reflex save. Socceroos have a free kick. Lazaridis, the possible option. Skoko is the other. And Josip Skoko has hit the side netting, so close to a second goal for Australia. Some of the crowd thinking that one was in.
In a moment after the corner, Mike.
Yes, it's Sean Murphy who's been warming up for the Socceroos, so perhaps an injury problem for one of those Australian defenders as Aloisi gets some room at the other end for the Socceroos. Emerton is onside. It's Emerton against the keeper. And Brett Emerton continues his rich vein of scoring form. Australia with their second of the game. Brett Emerton with his third of the series. And the Socceroos, you would imagine, are now through to the final stage of the World Cup campaign. 2-0 now to Australia. Emerton's goal coming after 37 minutes, and again the quick break catching New Zealand unawares. There's absolutely no support, clipped on the way past by Kevin Muscat. It's going to be a good learning experience as well for young Chris Killen, who finished the English season as top goal scorer for Manchester City Reserves. He'll be looking to get his opportunity in the first team. And here's a chance for New Zealand, and it's Chris Killen as we speak. Should have buried that one. Should have buried that one, Chris Killen. Just as we're lauding his goal-scoring prowess, he misses an absolute sitter. Jonathan Perry has picked him out with a superb pass. And Chris Killen heads the ball wide. A golden opportunity for the All Whites. Viselic. Ball spread wide by Atkinson, and it comes from Hickey. Just past Killen, who is starting to get himself more involved. Perry. Able to keep the ball in play. Caught by Vidmar, and it's a penalty. Well, once the whistle went, there was no choice for the referee. It had to be a penalty. The offence committed inside the area. And New Zealand with a lifeline, perhaps. Jonathan Perry doing well initially to hold his feet. Kept the ball in play. And caught on the ankle by Tony Vidmar. A penalty, Paul Wade?
Absolutely, no doubt about that. If it was in the middle of the ground, you would give a free kick for it. So, a yard inside, no doubt at all.
Well, a chance here for New Zealand to score their first goal against Australia in World Cup play since 1989. And in it goes from Vaughan Coveney. So the All Whites strike back here at Stadium Australia, the goal coming just before the break. And in fact, there is the half-time whistle, so the Socceroos with a one-goal advantage as we go into half-time in the return leg of the Oceania playoffs. Zoricic now. Coveney has shrugged off Vidmar. Danger here for Australia. Killen needs to stay onside. Erlovic! What a chance there for the substitute, Paul Erlovic. Well, almost the equaliser there from New Zealand. It came out of nothing, really. Tony Vidmar beaten by the strength of Coveney on that far side. An intelligent ball into the middle. Coveney had to, I should say, Erlovic had to take it first time. Well, a goal there from Erlovic certainly would have livened up proceedings. Erlovic has now made the mistake, and look at the room here for Edmonton. Drilic peels off to the back post. What a delivery from Edmonton, and John Aloisi from close range has killed off the New Zealand revival. So the two players brought into the attack by Frank Farina have found the target. Drilic scored early in the first half, and now it's the turn of John Aloisi. All smiles among the Australian players. Well, how a game can turn. What a delivery there from Brett Edmonton, and in the end, a simple finish for Aloisi. For all their moments of pressure, Paul, the All Whites haven't really forced a save out of Mark Schwarzer, and that is probably a sign of the way this game has gone. Bresciano moving forward. Lazaridis free on the left. Aloisi goes down in the middle. Here's Edmonton looking for his second. Batty pushes it wide. And the flag is up offside against Lazaridis as the ball came towards him. So Batty doing well there for New Zealand to deny Brett Edmonton a second. Looking for Aloisi. Zoricic got there first. Drilic across the face of goal. It's in the net, but the flag is up. It won't count. Disallowed for offside.
And they have sort of made sure that the Australian public know that it still means a lot to pull on the green and gold, and no matter how many games you've played, you are willing to make that sacrifice. Not as important for others, but I guess that is their choice.
Erlovic, and the first real save from Schwarzer in the game. 77 minutes into the contest. Outstanding young prospect. Played most of his junior football with Harry Kuehl. Their careers went separate ways a few years ago, but who knows, Brett Edmonton may end up doing as much as Harry Kuehl has done. As Drilic is blocked at the first attempt, but not at the second. And David Drilic, with his second of the afternoon, extends the advantage for the Socceroos. It's party time now here at Stadium Australia. 4-1 to the Socceroos. The second of the match for David Drilic. And not for the first time, New Zealand cut to pieces. Good work on the left side by Tony Vidmar. And it's Australia on their way to the final stage of the World Cup qualifying campaign. A two-match series against the fifth best team from South America. At the end of the game, a memorable afternoon for Australia. The Socceroos through to the final stages of the World Cup qualifying campaign. Time to relax, time to enjoy for Australia. In the end, a comprehensive victory. 4-1 here at Stadium Australia. Drilic with 2 goals. Aloisi and Edmonton added the others. Coveney scored from the penalty spot for New Zealand, but 6-1 on aggregate for Australia over their arch rivals New Zealand. Ken Dugdale will be satisfied with the performance of his team, but the final score here at Homebush, Australia 4, New Zealand 1.